Hello everyone, Harry Linden here from Lakeview Consulting. We're going to look at inventory valuations, and the first part of these series of videos we'll be looking at the last purchase price of an item when you purchase it, and what the average cost is and how it is determined. So let's go and have a look at it. So we're using the actual cost method, so the last purchase price of an item. And we're going to enter a few transactions into MYOB. We're going to enter two different purchases at two different prices, and then we're going to sell some items. And at each transaction, you'll see the differences in the costing. So let's go and have a look at the first one. So on the 1st of July, we're going to purchase 10 items, item 800. The list price is 110, including GST, and the ex-GST is 100. So if you multiply that out, so 10 units at 100 will give you an inventory value of $1,000. The stock on hand will be 10 because you haven't got any opening stock and you haven't done any further transactions. So the average cost is obviously going to be the same. A month and a half later, we'll go and buy a further 7 items of the same item, but this time the price has gone up to 121, including GST. So that's 110 ex-GST. You multiply the quantity times the ex-GST and you get an inventory value of 770. So now you've got in your inventory total, you've got 1770 as the total value of stock on hand, and the cumulative stock on hand is your 10 that you purchased originally plus the 7 that you purchased a bit later on. So you've got 17 currently on hand, and if you divide the total inventory value divided by the stock on hand, you now get an average of $104.12. And that's because you've got a new list price, so the cost has gone up, so you would expect the average to go up as well. Alright, so this will now also be used when we do a sale, so let's have a look at that next. So now we're going to enter a sale. We're going to sell 12 items, item 800. Obviously the last purchase price doesn't apply here because we're doing a sale. And how we cost the inventory is we multiply the quantity times whatever the average cost is at the time. Now the last average cost was 104.12. So obviously we calculate here, and I've done a formula here. It's E10 times J7. So E10 is your quantity and J7 is your last average cost. So if you multiply that out, you get 1249.41. And if you take the the cost of sales away from your previous inventory value, you get a new inventory value here. And if you divide the quantity into that value, you still get the average cost. So so that's the 17 minus your 12 that you sold, so giving you a final quantity on hand of 5 at $104.12 will give you $520.59. So let's just first look at the item. We're using item 800, so let's go and search for that just to make sure that it's all zeroed out, and we've got 0 on hand and no value. Okay, right, so let's close that. Let's purchase the first item. So if we go back to our first, it was the 1st of July and we're buying 10. Okay, so let's enter a purchase and let's choose Mountain Spring, and they've got some orders on hand, but we're going to ignore that. So let's put 10 items, 800. Oops, sorry, that was too quick. 800, and it's going to be $110. is our first purchase price. Okay, so we've got $1,100 including GST, and if we untick that, it's $1,000 ex GST. Okay, so let's record that. Alright, so now we go back to the item and have a look at, oh sorry, wrong one, item list. Let's look for 800, and we've now got 10 at 100. Total value in the inventory account is $1,000, which basically is what we said here. Okay, so it's your 10 times your ex GST amount gives you 100. Okay, so now let's go and do the next one. So we're going to do another purchase, back to purchasing, and we did that on the 14th of August, and we're purchasing 7. This time it's going to be 121. So let's do that. Let's choose the same supplier and ignore that, and we're going to purchase 7 this time. Item 800, and it's going to be 121. Okay, and again, if you want to see what the ex GST amount is, it's if you untick that, you'll see your ex GST amount at 770. So let's click that back on and record. And again, we'll go back to inventory, look at that item, and you'll now see there's 17. Your total value of inventory is 1770, and the average cost is 104.12 if you round it up. Okay, so which is what we calculated here. All right, so let's now do a sale. So let's go to sales, and we're now going to sell 12 items. Okay, so let's enter a sale. And let's sell it to, it doesn't really matter who it is, let's sell it to My Town Realty, and we now sell 12, item 800, and that's the sell price, but that's not part of the thing that we're looking at the moment. We're looking at the cost of sales here. So as I said, the purchase price doesn't apply. Sell price at the moment, we're not looking at this at the moment. That's when we look at the profitability of the costings against that item. We then look at the sell price. So let's ignore that for the moment. So all we're looking at here is to see if this value is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. As I mentioned earlier, it'll multiply the quantity times the average cost to give you that value. So let's go and have a look at completing that sale. So record that, and let's go back to inventory and look at item 800 again. And we have 5 left. We've got 520.59, and if we go back to our spreadsheet, it's 520.59, and average cost is still 104.12 when you round it up. Okay. Well, I hope you totally enjoyed this brief overview of how the costing in the purchase orders using actual cost has an impact on your value of inventory. The next video we will focus on using standard costing, and I hope you come and join us soon.